Sunlight filtered through the sheer curtains of the living room, casting a warm golden glow over the cream-colored sectional sofa. Emily, 20 years old and effortlessly stylish in a soft sage green t-shirt and high-waisted wide-leg jeans, lounged with one leg draped over the armrest, scrolling through her phone. Her mother, Diane, sat across from her guest, Mrs. Langford, a longtime friend and former colleague, sipping herbal tea from delicate porcelain cups. The conversation had been pleasant. Neighborhood updates, a recent art exhibit, the unseasonably warm October weather. Then the front door clicked open, and Emily's elder brother, Daniel, stepped inside, briefcase in hand. At 24, Daniel carried himself with quiet confidence. A recent promotion at his architecture firm had only deepened his sense of responsibility. "Hey, Em," he said, nodding toward his sister before turning to their mother. "Mom, I was thinking, since Grandma's birthday is coming up, maybe we could all go up to the lake house for the weekend? Just like we used to." Emily snorted without looking up. "Oh, please. That old shack? The Wi-Fi barely works, and the shower takes 10 minutes to warm up. Besides, I have plans." Diane shot her a warning glance, but Emily ignored it. When Daniel gently added, "It's more about being together than the amenities," Emily rolled her eyes dramatically. "Spare me the Hallmark speech, Danny boy," she drawled, finally meeting his gaze with a smirk. "Not all of us are stuck in the 90s. Some of us actually live in the real world." Mrs. Langford's teacup paused mid-air. Diane's smile tightened. Daniel simply exhaled, hurt flickering in his eyes before he masked it with calm. "All right, Em. Just thought I'd ask." The rest of the visit passed in strained pleasantries. Emily acted as if nothing had happened, flipping her hair and humming to herself. But inside, Diane's disappointment hardened into resolve. Respect wasn't optional in their home. It was the foundation. The moment Mrs. Langford's car pulled away from the curb, the house seemed to exhale. Emily stretched and headed toward the kitchen, calling over her shoulder, "I'm ordering pizza. You guys want anything?" "Emily," Diane said, her voice low but firm, "come back here." Emily turned, feigning innocence. "What? Did I spill tea or something?" "No," Diane said, standing and smoothing her blouse. "You disrespected your brother. In front of a guest. In our home." Emily scoffed, crossing her arms. "Oh, come on, Mom. It was just banter. He knows I don't mean it." "Do you?" Diane stepped closer, her gaze unwavering. "Because it sounded like contempt. Like you think he's beneath you. Is that how you see your own brother?" Emily shifted, her bravado faltering. "I didn't mean it like that." "But you said it," Diane pressed. "Words have weight, Emily. Especially when they come from someone who should know better. You're not a child throwing a tantrum, you're a young woman. And you chose to humiliate your brother instead of honoring him." Emily looked away, jaw clenched. "So what? You're gonna ground me? Take my phone? I'm 20, Mom. You can't treat me like I'm 12. "I'm not treating you like a child," Diane said quietly. "I'm holding you accountable like an adult who's failed to act like one." A beat of silence hung between them. Then Diane turned and walked toward the hallway closet. Emily frowned, confused, until her mother returned holding a smooth, polished wooden paddle, about 20 inches long and 3.5 inches wide. Its edge slightly rounded for safety but undeniably firm. Emily's breath hitched. She'd seen it once years ago when she'd lied about breaking a vase. But that was middle school. This felt different. "Go stand in the center of the living room," Diane instructed, her voice calm but resolute. "Lean forward and place your hands on your knees." Emily's face flushed crimson. "Mom, you can't be serious." "I am," Diane said. "This isn't about pain. It's about consequence. You disrespected your family. You will face that." Trembling, Emily walked to the spot. She bent forward, hands gripping her knees, the soft denim of her wide-leg jeans offering little buffer. Her heart pounded in her ears. Shame burned hotter than any sting she anticipated. Diane stepped behind her. "This is for your disrespect, for your arrogance, and for forgetting who you are, and who we are as a family." Thwack. The first stroke landed squarely, sharp and resonant. Emily gasped, her knees buckling slightly before she steadied herself. Thwack. "For mocking your brother's kindness." Thwack. "For embarrassing our family." Thwack. "For thinking maturity is optional." Each strike was deliberate, never cruel but unyielding. Tears welled in Emily's eyes, not just from the stinging heat blooming across her backside, but from the crushing weight of her own behavior. The paddle, a relic of old-fashioned discipline, felt jarringly real in this modern living room filled with smart speakers and abstract art. By the sixth sweat, her shoulders were shaking. Diane paused, placing a hand on her daughter's back. "Look at me, Emily." Emily straightened slowly, tears streaming down her cheeks. Her mother's eyes were glistening too, but with love, not anger. Later, wrapped in a cozy throw blanket on the sofa, Emily sat with an ice pack discreetly tucked under her, wincing slightly as she shifted. The house was quiet but not cold. The tension had dissolved, replaced by something softer, understanding. Diane sat beside her, handing her a mug of chamomile tea. "I didn't enjoy that," she said gently, "but I love you too much to let you become someone who treats family like strangers." Emily nodded, her voice thick. "I didn't realize how bad it sounded. I thought I was just being funny." "Humor that wounds isn't humor," Diane said. "It's cruelty in disguise." A few minutes passed in silence. Then Emily stood, wincing again, and walked toward the kitchen. Daniel was washing dishes, sleeves rolled up, lost in thought. She leaned against the doorway. "Hey." He turned, surprised. "Hey." "I'm sorry," she said, meeting his eyes. "What I said earlier, it was mean and untrue. You're not stuck in the past. You're just better than me." Daniel smiled faintly. "I know you didn't mean it, but thanks for saying it." "I do mean it," she said. "And I'd actually love to go to the lake house. Maybe we can fix the Wi-Fi." He chuckled. "Deal." Back in the living room, Diane watched them through the archway, a small smile on her lips. Discipline wasn't about control, it was about connection. And sometimes, in a world that celebrated rebellion without responsibility, the oldest lessons were still the truest. As the sun dipped below the horizon, casting long shadows across the room, Emily curled up on the sofa, sore, humbled but finally whole. The sage green t-shirt, once a symbol of her casual indifference, now felt like a second skin of quiet renewal. And somewhere in the hallway closet, the wooden paddle rested, not as a threat, but as a reminder. Respect is earned, taught, and never taken for granted.